you like them. Where do you think women stand currently in the field of politics? I said I think it's getting promising. I was going to mention Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, that'd be perfect because I think I mentioned her in my script for the documentary, so that would be really nice to find.
Let's see. So then Victoria's past courage and lack of formal education affect your opinion of her. I just said no, given the time period or context. And then if Victoria was put on an official ballot, do you think she would have a legitimate chance? I really, for myself, said no, given the fact that 14th and 15th Amendment did not include women as a strong male resistance, and women, not all suffragists didn't like her as well. She was sort of a polarizing, so I mean, she didn't have support really of both genders. And then number 4, Victoria been put under house arrest. What her career? Stop law. Where did I answer that? I don't think it would have changed. I think she would have probably done something else crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, she just seemed to be. You could do a whole course on her life.
Yeah.
I mean, she did everything, and I think it would have been something else. Would I have supported Victoria's campaign for rights? And I guess I would have to think about the time period and context.
Yeah.
It would be kind of hard, yeah, I mean, her ideas, in some ways, they were split up the suffrage movement. I mean, Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony were all divided over that. How is Victoria's life a turning point? History. I think she was the idea of being nominated as a president, standing. She was the first one I think to stand before the House Judiciary Committee. So I think that's she's part of the change for that. And then I think about staying in the field of politics. We'll hopefully have a female president soon. Yeah. We're getting there. We're getting closer. Our Women Today's limited business realm, and I just said that I think there still is a glass ceiling for women. And then where do you see women progressing in the future? I just brought up the fact that I think it was this week that women now are going to be officially in combat. So I think we're moving, we're getting better. I think there's still a lot of progress to be made. And seeing a woman president perhaps in the future, maybe shaping policy, health policy, foreign policy.
Those are all amazing answers.
Okay. So I just, just in case you need my information, I do have a business card.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I'm so happy because I had called Thomas More a few times, and the first time they put me on some extension, and then I never got a call back. I was just starting to freak out. And but then Billy Sarge, because my guidance counselor was like, hey, just email this guy, and maybe he'll be able to help you. And he was so nice.
He is a really, really nice guy. And the nice thing about Thomas More is we all kind of know each other. And sometimes if you call one person, they know to go to. Yeah. Very quickly. So I'm glad we worked this out. Are you a junior?
I am.
Junior? Are you thinking about colleges? Or?
Yeah.
The college search.
I want to get out of here, though. I can't stay in Kentucky. But it's such a waste of Keys money and GSP, and so I'm just like, So we'll see.
Yeah, well, it's exciting. Yeah. There's so many great colleges and universities out there. And, you sound very smart, and I think you'll probably get some scholarships or something.
We'll try.
So how do you do this?
Okay, so I'm just going to read the question, and then you can answer however long, however short you'd like, and then I'll move on to the next question, and then I think that's just get them up.
All right, if I mess up or anything. Or...
Don't worry about it. Okay. You can start over if you want, because I can always cut the footage, or you can just keep going with it, and we can just incorporate it in, so.
Okay,
whatever you got. Don't worry about it.
So I was just making sure I didn't like if I...
Okay, so number 1. What was life like for Victoria, or what was life like for women in the 1800s?
I think you have to see it in the context of American history. It's a country that is really kind of coming into its being. You see the kind of implementation of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. It's a time in the mid-1800s where you have the Civil War, Reconstruction, issues of race, and women are trying to find their place. Women of all races, in the South, in the North, in the East, and the West, housewives, migrant women, poor women, asking new questions, specifically in terms after the Civil War. What are women's civil rights? What are their rights to education, their right to earn a decent living? It also kind of spirals into the questions of their domestic life, the right to divorce, right to children. And for women, it's becoming the personal and the political in the 1800s.
Do Victoria's past careers and lack of formal education affect your opinion of her?
Given the time period, no. I think Victoria was kind of an embodiment of the time period. Most women would not have had any sort of an access to a formal education. So I think given the time period, it's pretty understandable where she came from.
If Victoria was put on the official ballot, do you think she would have had a legitimate chance at winning the presidency?
I don't think she would have, for several reasons. The fact that the 14th and the 15th Amendment were passed, many believe excluded women. You would not have found a lot of support at that time in the 1870s among men, politically and outside of politics, willing to allow that just yet, even though I think questions were already being raised. And also the support among women. Not all suffragists liked her. She could be sort of a polarizing figure in politics, specifically with her views on birth control and free love. Perhaps she was simply a bit ahead of her times, and hopefully that would happen later.
If Victoria had not been put under arrest for breaking the Comstock Law, would her career have changed?
I think Victoria was on the path to some sort of controversy. I think if it would have been this, it would have been something else that would have put her out there and changed her reputation.
Would you have supported Victoria's campaign for women's rights and free love?
I'm not sure. I think it depends on the time period and context. I think she was sort of a mixed figure. I think I would have been drawn to her, the fact that she would be able to speak so openly about topics that were taboo or most women were not willing to speak about at the time.
Do you believe Victoria should be mentioned in textbooks and in the class setting?
Absolutely. She's important politically for what she did as a presidential candidate. Also, it's notable she's the first woman testifying before Congress in 1871, where I think it was for the House Judiciary Committee. And also in the history of suffrage, her relationship with Stanton and Anthony, and her personal life, and how women during that period were studied for what they're doing politically, but also how their personal life plays a role.
How is Victoria's life a turning point in history?
I think not necessarily maybe a turning point, but she is important into enhancing our understanding of women's history, suffrage history, of what women are going through at the time and what will change. I do think the fact that she is nominated for the president by a party is significant. It does show that women are willing to reach out to the political world.
Where do you think women currently stand in the field of politics?
I think we're at a good place, but I think we can do better. I think Hillary Clinton now has just stepped down as the Secretary of State, really sort of has set the standard. And perhaps we are soon due for a first female president, be it her or someone else. I think we're making inroads into Supreme Court. We have more women Supreme Court justices than we have in the past. I think we need to get more numbers in our Senate, in our House, but those are still to be done. So I think we're doing good, but I think we need to do better.
Are women still limited today in the business realm?
I think this sort of coincides with the political question. I think there still is a glass ceiling for women. I think that women are still limited by sometimes pay differentials and sort of positions within a corporate structure, but I think it will grow and hopefully continue to change for the better.
Where do you see women progressing in the future?
I think more positions of power, specifically politics, also at home. Laws are changing continuously that will affect women within the home, birth control, health policy, and politics. This week, in February 2013, now women have just been allowed to officially participate in combat, which they've been doing, I think, already, but I think it is significant that women will be entering more positions in all those roles.
And do you have any further comments?
I think, let me think about that.
Okay, sorry, it was just the
yeah.
out there. You don't have to say anything if you don't have, because you really did amazing.
Was
Thank you. Those questions today, answers were really good.
Okay. I hope they hope. Yeah, I just kind of jotted some down here.
That's some pretty good jobbing then. I wish I could job like that.
So is there anything else you need?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it. Oh, probably a picture for the video just in case. There you go. Sometimes the video will get messed up, but hopefully I'll still be able to take the audio. And in that case, it's like Skype. Then I can just take a pic.